I'm Alex Paulton. I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Talking Timepieces, where we talk about watch collecting and horology. Here at the Geneva Watch Days, I'm with Alexander Philipp, and he's with Tutima, and they're out of Glashütte. And a lot of people don't realize how deep a horological history Glashütte has.
Absolutely. Glashütte is the place of watchmaking in Germany, having a nice selection of watch maison, of watch brands. And so also for us, it's very important to be there because that was the place of birth of the brand Tutima in 1927.
Very nice. So it must have been tough during the Cold War having to be a watchmaker behind the Iron Curtain.
To be honest, just in 1945, we left Glashütte before end of World War II, and the founder, Dr. Ernst Kurz, went to Ganderkesee, which is in the north of Germany, close to Bremen.
Okay, so you avoided the issue.
Exactly. So we continued always to produce watches. There was no break.
Very cool. That also gives you a very clean lineage through the history of the company.
Exactly. So, and then it was due to the history, the two Germans were separated and we couldn't come back. So we had to wait until the wall fell. And finally in 2008 we made it and we brought back the brand to its home place, to Glashütte.
Well, and also because of all of the different companies, it has a very deep horological skill base. There are a lot of good watchmakers in Glashütte.
Absolutely, and every brand wants to have them.
Very cool. So now, let's look at some of these pieces. You got some nice looking watches here.
We have a beautiful collection. As you maybe know, we are also focused on Flieger, on pylons watches, because already in the 1940s we produced the chronographs for the pilots, for the German Air Force. And again, in 1984, we started to supply the NATO chrono to the Air Force pilots in Germany.
Very nice.
So, and these are quite tough and robust watches for the use in the cockpit. So, and we also started then to offer them for our clients, and I want to show this to you because it's an outstanding piece.
This one here?
Yeah, that's the M2 chronograph in a complete titanium case and titanium bracelet. Inside the titanium case is another cage of soft metal to protect
anti-magnetic.
Exactly, to protect the movement against magnetism. We are working here with sapphire crystal, 2.5 millimeters thick, anti-reflex coated from both sides, so you have no reflections at all. And very important for the Bundeswehr was that the pushers and the crown are integrated into the case, so that
nothing sticking out.
Right, exactly. Because if it stick out and broke, there's no more function. And in addition to that, watch is water resistant up to 300 meters. But the most important thing is, technically wise, the chronograph has a minute counter out of the center, so you can read the elapsed time, the elapsed minutes, suddenly and very quick and easy to read for the pilots.
Right, very nice, yes. And that was very popular in the 70s and 80s, but then it kind of dropped out, after a while. You don't see it too often.
No, it's quite rare, and we have a patent, yeah, on this. And but you're right, it's very, very rare in the market.
Well, the old 5100,
Lemania.
The Lemania 5100, but they don't make it anymore.
They don't make it anymore. That was the reason why we had to find our own way to redo the design of the Lemania face.
Very cool. Now this one looks very pilot. I mean, this is almost a traditional kind of a Deutsche Flieger kind of a design, German pilot design.
Absolutely. The line is called Grand Flieger. It is in a case size of 41.5 millimeter, featured with a bezel in ceramic. And this model, for example, has a green dial with a green ceramic bezel and a very nice fitting green textile strap. And we have it also with a
display back.
You
Very
display
nice.
it, absolutely. And it's a very popular watch. Absolutely one of the top sellers in the collection.
I can believe that easily.
Yeah.
So now, and this one kind of looks like, just a good luxury sports piece, a little shiny, but a little rugged, a little everything, a little fancy, a little casual.
The design of this watch is the classical design of the pilot watches in the 1940s. Oh. So it's not much varied, it's still the same. But new for us is we used for the very first time a case material, titanium grade 5, which is not only very light and very resistant against oxidation. That means you can use it also in the seawater. Mm-hmm. But it is even tougher and harder than steel.
So more scratch resistant in that sense.
And this is for sure also a bit more complicated to produce and to handle. But if you polish it, and we have a bezel which is polished, it looks almost like steel in the color. So it's beautiful. Huh? And this is quite new in the collection. We just presented it this year.
Very cool. And now, of course, you got to have a suit watch.
Yeah.
You have to have something, got to get fancy once in a while.
Yeah. You maybe know that we have been voted to be the factory of the year, Manufaktur des Jahres. That's the official German title. Mm-hmm. That means we have also in-house movements, which we completely design, develop, and produce, where we also produce all the parts in-house.
Hairsprings and the like as well.
The hairspring, for example, we buy it as a flat one, but we use Breguet hairsprings, and
So you make the overcoil yourself?
We make the overcoil ourselves, yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. And by the way, we use a balance with screws to regulate the watch. So there's no more index system, and this is really great.
It is a beauty, and it's always nice to have a display back on a piece like this, so you can really see the workmanship that has gone into it. It is just a beautiful piece, really.
It's a piece of art.
A good watch should be.
Yeah. No, to be honest, all the parts are polished and individually finished. So we have a hand-finished or hand-engraved balance cock, for example. There's one barrel for a power reserve of 65 hours. We regulate the watch in 6 positions. Mostly it is done in 5 positions. So we have also very, very, very good running results. So the watch is quite precise. By the way, for these collections, we also produce the hands in-house. We polish it by hand. We make the edge.
The anglage.
The anglage, mm-hmm. which is then brushed. So it's perfectly manufactured. And we are, as a family-owned company, absolutely individually to say, okay, we make like this. And
you don't have a conglomerate telling you what to do.
No.
Very cool, Alexander. Is there anything else you wanted to leave us about the company before I let you go, sir?
So in 3 years, we will have a big event, because then the brand's getting 100 years old, so that we are celebrating the 100th anniversary.
I'll be there.
Yeah. And we have big plans. We will start just in hopefully a few months to construct a new building, because we need more space to enlarge the production, which is always a bit tricky. The demand always is a bit higher than that what we can supply. So
it's not a bad problem.
No, but we also want to distribute the watches in new countries.
More places.
Yeah, and this is what it slowed down a bit in the past.
You need the parts to sell.
And for those that maybe have not heard the name Tutima before, the name Tutima comes from the Latin word tutus, which means safe, protected, and the superlative was tutissima, so they constructed the name Tutima to ensure that there's a high quality product on the wrist of the clients.
Very nice. Thank you so much, Alexander, for giving me the time to talk to you.
Thank you, Alex. It was a pleasure to see you and to meet you.